We're not going to miss or skip a beat because of all the noise or the distraction on one case. We're going to continue to do our work. I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. I guess my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis speaking out for the very first time after Judge Scott McAfee allowed her to remain on the election interference case involving President Donald Trump and many others. Now, there's so much I want to say. First things first, this interview she gave to 11 Alive News was ridiculous. She was very arrogant, very self-aggrandizing, self-righteous, cocky, whatever you want to say. She was that in this interview. She showed no remorse. I didn't do anything wrong. I did nothing illegal. I don't feel any kind of way bad about what happened. I did nothing wrong. It's a distraction, all this, that, and the third. Now, before we get into the video, let's back up a little bit. We all know about Fani Willis and what happened, how she was or is the DA in the election interference case in Fulton County, Georgia, involving President Donald Trump and many others. She brought on her alleged lover, Nathan Wade, in 2021, 2022, right around that time. And since that time, she has paid him at least $650,000 U.S. American cold hard cash dollars. Now, the next highest person she paid, who she brought on, got paid $90,000. The third highest, 75. So how do you go from 75 to 90 to 650 and there's no problems? You guys are going on trips and vacations and dinners all over the country, all over the world, and he's paying for it, but there's no problems. He has no experience prosecuting felonies, and you got him prosecuting the president, and there's nothing there. I don't believe that. And although she was let off the hook by Judge Scott McAfee, Nathan Wade wasn't. And in his decision, he pretty much outlined the case for the Georgia bar. So although she's feeling high and mighty and Superman and can't nobody touch me, I'm Teflon Don, although she feels that way now, that might not be attitude she has for a very long time. Now, before I go any further, let's get into the actual news clip. If you want to see the clip in the full interview in full, I will link to both videos in the description box. If you're an IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
7 minutes after 6, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis is speaking publicly for the first time since a judge allowed former President Donald Trump and his allies to appeal his ruling.
Atlanta News First's Rick Fullbaum is here. Rick, she didn't hold back on how she feels about the hearing that she just went through, although the judge had kind of cautioned her to not say anything.
That's right, Gravier. She did not hold back. She spoke for the first time as she helped give out.
One thing about Fani Willis, she's going to talk, although she probably should not talk. Just like when she went to the churches, not one, but at least 2 different churches to give impromptu sermons and defend herself. She just can't stop talking. It's really weird.
Easter baskets in College Park over the weekend. And she says that the election interference prosecution against former President Donald Trump has not been delayed by any of the proceedings over her romantic relationship with the special prosecutor she hired for the case, Nathan Wade. A judge, you remember, determined that she could stay on the case as long as Wade was no longer on her team. But the DA's office still faces some legal challenges. Last Wednesday, a judge granted requests from Mr. Trump and his co-defendants to seek an appeal on whether Willis should be removed from the case. Willis is up for re-election in November, and she says she does not feel that her personal reputation has been damaged.
Fulton County, Georgia, ATLians, Atlanta residents, Atlanta area residents, please don't vote this woman in again in November, please. And if you do, then I already kind of know what's going on.
We're not going to miss or skip a beat because of all the noise or the distraction on one case. We're going to continue to do our work. I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done.
Now let's pause right here. I'm going to play some of the fuller video. All right. This is like an 8-minute interview. We're not going to play the entire thing. We're going to get to some of it, and then I'll get my reaction afterward. Or I might stop it at certain points in between.
So today we're doing a Easter egg hunt, and it's a lot of fun for our children. We do it every year in the community. I've been doing it since actually before I was the elected district attorney. We do it with a nonprofit organization called WAVE, which is We All Value Excellence, that is mainly made up of police officers and law enforcement officers.
And are there other events like this held throughout the year?
Absolutely. We do a book bag hunt. Most of the focus of WAVE is to give back to either children or the homeless. And it actually started giving back to the homeless. And then we found out there was such a population of homeless children, and so it kind of grew as a natural arm. And so we do things at Thanksgiving, things at Christmas, things just during the year.
Well, I'm not going to hate on a charitable thing, so that's good to do charitable things. But you could do charitable things and at the same time be a corrupt person. All right. You could be Nino Brown in New Jack City handing out turkeys to the community, but at the same time killing the community with the crack cocaine. I'm not saying that, sir, but I'm just saying you can be both at once. Let's keep on going.
Do you feel like there's any difference at all this year than past years, just with recent attention that you've gotten? Do you feel different being out and about right now?
I feel more loved. Actually, I've gotten a lot of support from women that surprised me. I wasn't thinking that I was going to be the face of women, but women of every nationality, African American women, Caucasian women, have been really embracing.
Now, why would so many women be supporting her? Because let's be clear about what she did, just from a facts point of view. Not even getting into the allegations of illegality. I'm talking about the facts. The facts are that she had an affair with a married man for a number of years. That's the facts, because I think Nathan Wade might still be married. And if he's not married, he just got divorced this year. When they were hunching, doing whatever they were doing, he was 100% married to his wife of over 20 years, with whom he has 2 grown children. So why would women be supporting that? Regardless of the illegality, why would anyone support that from a moral point of view? I don't know, but I digress.
Sometimes I think they tell me they're praying for me, but just really, really embracing, very proud of me. So it's very interesting to see how proud of women are of what they see in me, and that's very humbling.
I'm gonna go like this. That one hair is loving your hand. Do you feel like right now this is also a good way to remind the community that you're out here, you're working for them, kind of reclaim your reputation in a way with Fulton County? Do you think something like this might help remind people who you are?
I don't think my reputation needs to be reclaimed, so I guess we'll start there. This is what I would do.
Zero remorse. No remorse is like, hey, whatever. I didn't do anything wrong. I did nothing wrong. It is what it is. Now, if it's me and I was in her shoes, I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't do any interviews or anything like that. I'll keep my mouth shut while the case is going on. After everything is resolved, it's settled, whatever, then I can speak, but not until then. But Fani just loves the camera. She loves to talk for some reason. And as a lawyer, I would hope that she would understand to not do that. But when you have an incompetent lawyer, someone who should not be a DA, she will do things like this. You understand? But I digress.
No matter what was going on, I'm not going to miss these events. We will be doing our book bag drive in July like we always do. We will do our coat drive in November. We will do our toy drive at the holidays. We're not going to miss or skip a beat because of all the noise or the distraction on one case. We're going to continue to do our work. I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. I guess my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something that I find embarrassing in any way.
So $670,000 or so in 2 years, all kind of trips and whatnot paid by him, getting kickbacks, not to mention that you took campaign money out and had it in cash in your house, which you can't do. I mean, we're not talking about that. And plus, prosecutorial misconduct when it comes to this whole case involving Trump and many others, it should get thrown out. The judge, Scott McAfee, threw out parts of this case already. So, I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. I think that many of us in this country would beg to differ.
And I know that I have not done anything that's illegal. And so I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. And when I tell you the outpouring of women, and I'll tell you this, especially African American women who will just say, we are so proud, you are such a good representative of us. but I would be lying to say it's only African American women. I have had Caucasian women, Asian women, Indian women. I told Jeff one day I didn't think I was the face of the feminist movement, but somehow I became it. And I think that women feel like women are treated differently when they're professionals, and they're proud to see someone that is strong.
Oh, you know what? Check it out, though. If you treat it differently, you treat it better. Because imagine if it was a man in the same situation. If it was a man that did what you did, the woman would be suing him, and he might be getting hemmed up. That's what happened. Because, understand what's going on. She hires a special prosecutor who she's having a physical, intimate relationship with. Now, if that gets found out and people get in trouble, all of a sudden, the woman will be the victim in the situation. Just like what happened with Megan Hall, I believe her name is, out there in Laverne, Tennessee, the cop who had an affair with the entire force almost. Rather than her being the main one that was in trouble, she sued and got paid. Nobody else got sued and got paid, but the woman did. She was voluntarily engaging in relations with the officers the same way that they were with her, but for some reason, she's the victim. That'd be what had happened if the shoe was on the other foot. But I digress.
And trying to do the right job, certainly flawed, like every human being is flawed. My father has a saying, only one perfect man walked the face of the earth, and they crucified him. Oh
boy. Okay, I think we could just leave it right there. Again, this is about an 8-minute long interview. And as you can see, there's no remorse. I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I'm flawed, but so what? Who isn't? It was only one other flawed person, and they crucified him. Typical black church stuff. No accountability. Yeah, I pray to God, and then it'll be fine. Yeah, I could just pray it away and sin all day. That's pretty much how a lot of these folks operate. But as I close, I want to say this. I hope that this interview you just saw, and also the church sermons that she did in an impromptu type way, I hope that those get introduced during the disbarment process, because she most certainly deserves it. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what Fani Willis said in this interview here? You think that she showed any kind of remorse? Did she need to show remorse? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is typical Fani Willis, talking when there's no need to. She could easily say, hey, I ain't gonna talk about that. I'll let everything play out, blah, 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 blah. No. She's gonna go talk. Lawyers telling her, hey, don't talk. She'll go to church. Hey, stop talking. She'll go to a new church. Don't talk anymore. So talk to the media. That's what she does. This is arrogance playing out in front of you. And I hope, again, that it backfires and she gets disbarred. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.